Guys, Naja here. Welcome to part 4 of this quick series. This time it's going to be versus midrange shadow. Now again, a lot of people will tell you that midrange shadow is just like paper for dragon, and it is, as far as tournament play goes for the most part. But the matchup can honestly go either way sometimes, and a large part of that has to do with, especially on ladder, just how good the mid-range player is, as well as what did the dragon player draw. Because a lot of times I'll see people who go ahead and like throw out the Reaper on turn 2. Reaper is never ever a turn 2 play. Never ever a turn 2 play. Reaper is a combo piece and you should treat it as such. However, a lot of people try to like disregard the Reapers and just, it's 1 damage. It's gonna go face. Yeah, like that's not worth it when your Reaper could potentially do upwards of 4 to 6 damage. Like, because obviously 4 to 6 damage is a much bigger number and get you closer and closer to that Serb Phantom Howl lethal range. Another thing I'll see people do is I'll see people like leave themselves open to as much AoE as humanly possible for no actual reason. Dragon is a class that has a lot of AoEs. We all know this. There's no reason for you to try to like drop your full hand into a dragon's 10 mana first 10 mana turn. That's a mistake. But yeah, so we're gonna get to the actual game here. Alright, so I kept the Blazing Breath just because I really need it for his early game plays. I also don't believe that he's Snap, so. Alright, so he plays with the Skeleton Fighter here. However, I'm not going to Blazing Breath this, just because I don't have a turn to play, and I believe that I can hit a better value target. He does play Soul Squasher, and this is good, so my gamble pays off. Next turn, I'm looking to play Ayala, just because Ayala denies him from wanting to play Orthrus. And then the turn after that, I can maybe play Rahab, or just, try to see what I get. Here, he plays Skeleton Knight. Skeleton is an issue. It's a lot of damage that I'm going to take for no reason. Then he has Catacombs, which makes this worse. Alright, now this turn is important. Now, you might be thinking here, okay, you're gonna go ahead and crash in Sybil into Skeleton Knight and then go ahead and clear off a skeleton. No. Again, it's important that versus classes that have to win solely off the board, and not just from like a combo in their hand and whatnot, that you go ahead and you try to play the same game that they're playing, just because you need to try to stretch out the value that you can stretch out, because you're not always going to have the prerequisite AoE that you need in order to deal with what they're going to do, especially for this game, because he's already played Catacombs, and I need to try to clear off as many original skeletons as I can, so that way in 2 turns from now, or sorry, I believe 3 turns from now actually, that I can go ahead and play Saha Israfil in order to clear off everything and try to claw my way back into the game. I'm already under a lot of pressure right now, but it's really important that I go ahead and make this play the way I'm making it, because next turn he's going to want to play Cerberus, and it's important that maybe by taking 3 damage on my ward, that I can go ahead and soak up some more damage from something else. Like, for example, I'm already going to be soaking up 2 damage because he's going to use his Evo to clear my ward, and then maybe the Ayla can also go ahead and clear up at least 2 bodies on its own, which will be really nice. Again, the ward here is important just because that's protecting my face. And again, I go ahead and make the trades that I do. I go ahead and clear off one of the skeletons that won't generate another body. Now here, he does have the Cerberus, as I said. And I'm expecting him to want to go ahead and clear off my Rahab, and then also trade in either his Catacombs or his Skeleton Knight into my Ayala. Now, I know you don't want to do that. However, that is the play that you should go ahead and make here, just because Ayala is still on the board. You have a 5-1. You want to protect your 5-1 at all costs. And if you think about it, sure, you could put me into Salamander range. However, if you don't do this, then I'm already going to get to clear your 5-1 anyway, and I'm not going to have to risk my Sybil if I do have it. Having the Sybil here was really important, just because it'll be at 6 HP. So if he wants to clear this, he's gonna have to throw in a lot of resources to do it, or he's going to have a second Soul Squasher. If he has a second Soul Squasher, I'm happy with that, because that'll eat up a lot of his shadows. And it means that if he has Ektar, that I won't have to deal with as much Ektar zombies and whatnot, as well as the Ektar itself. Now here, he also misplays. Alright, so last turn he made the play that he made, most likely, presumably, because he thought I was gonna have Breath of the Salamander. Now, why here would you make this play, but not go ahead and trade in everything and make your Shadow Reaper as big as possible? It's important, especially right now, that he either make his Shadow Reaper at least the 3/3, but preferably a 4/4. Wrath Drake is a pretty common tech in Dragon these days, and Wrath Drake right now will go ahead and blow him completely out of the game, just straight up just out of the game completely. And so it was pretty mind-boggling that he decided to go for this play. So again, if I were to have Wrath Drake here, he'd be out of the game. Just straight up just out of the game. Because the most he can do now with Phantom Hell is 5 damage, so... However, he does buff it up one more time with the Soul Conversion. Now, he did misplay by drawing last there, and now right here, because the Reaper is so big, I have to put a ward. I have to put a ward in front of my face this turn. Next turn, I want to go ahead and Israfil. However, if he has Ektar here, I want to go ahead and be able to go Israfil Evo and go ahead and clear off everything. Or even conversely, Saha Israfil and go ahead and Evo Saha into something. Into Ektar, and then go ahead and trade Israfil into the Reaper. But probably I'm going to want to do that order reverse. I'm going to want to clear Reaper first and then clear Ektar second. Just so that way my Israfil stays alive. But yes, I go ahead and put a word in my face. And again, it's important that I don't Evo, because I might need the Israfil Evo later. Here, he gets incredibly greedy. I don't justify this play at all. He needed to play other cards. Like, Thane is a good card to develop. When you get to develop it into a dragon, that's used at least one or more Breath of the Salamanders, just because Dragon has a hard time clearing off Thane. Like, and generally versus Shadow, if anything sticks, you're gonna catch an Ektar for it. But here, he gives me the single-handedly best humanly possible Israfil that I could ever get. So I'm going to go ahead and go Israfil. I'm going to use an Evo. And then I'm going to go ahead and get an Israfil for 5. Or sorry, not for 5 damage, but it's going to give me a +5 on the spot. That is insane. Like, his Reaper was ineffective, did practically no damage, and I was able to heal off any of the damage that did do. I also now have 2 creatures on board. If he has Ektar here, cool, that's fine, because I have a Bahamut next turn. But here, he uses the White King, then he plays Death's Breath. This was a mistake, because... Okay, so the reason why this is a mistake is because if I have Grimnir here, he loses. Like, and he committed a lot of cards into any potential AoEs that I could have. Like, the Israfil is already going to be doing 2, so there was no reason to play Valerial. Playing Valerial was 100% a mistake. And playing the White King is also a mistake, just because you want to try to save White King as potential reload. Like, the Death's Breath is already more than enough. Like, if I was gonna have any AoE, I was going to 100% use it on the Death's Breath. However, I guess he was scared of Grimnir, but it didn't really, because if I do have Grimnir, you're still in a bad spot because you don't have an Ektar. However, with my hand as it currently is, I can clear off most of his board. However, I draw the Dragoon Scyther, and drawing the Dragoon Scyther was pretty huge, because this now let me go ahead and full clear everything. This turn was also pretty important too, because I know a lot of times I'm pretty gung-ho with playing out Poly, but it was really important right now that I not play the Poly, just because my Israfil is going to be taking damage. And at the time, I was really scared of him playing Ektar and then having the Ektar behind 2 wards, just because at the moment I don't have AoE, and that might have meant that I was gonna have to turn off my Polyphonic Roar, and I really don't want to do that. But what I could have done was I could have played the Poly, and then if he has Ektar, then I can go ahead and go Sahab, and I can make the play that I just made now, but make it next turn and go ahead and clear off a zombie. But instead, I just go for the full clear, because I don't want to take any damage. I'm in control right now, because even if he does have an Ektar, I have a Bahamut for the Ektar. So I go ahead and make the play that gives me a full clear. I'll have 2 4/4s on the board as well. But instead, I go ahead and play Ayala, just because I might need Scyther for Ektar. Like, in the event that he does go trade, and then face for 4, that maybe I could go, that maybe in a later state that could maybe go Scyther plus Fervor. Scyther plus Fervor is one of the best plays they could make, just because you get to draw 2 cards, and you get to, even though you'll be giving back your opponent tempo, they'll be doing it on a clear board, and you can go ahead and try to capitalize off that, because you won't be taking any additional damage for having done so. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Part 5 will be out shortly. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.